family and friends, my God, held me up. I mean, particularly during the cancer treatment, it goes on a year, tears the soul out of you. Physically, you're just so drained. You never know if you're going to get your intellect back or your vigor back. I remember even looking at a friend of mine calling into me one day and watching her just kind of hop up the step to my house, just looking at her with envy, going, Jesus, will I ever be able to do that again? Because you're so flattened by the chemotherapy. I mean, it's indescribable what it does to you, but hopefully it makes you better, you know? So friends, I mean, the postman during that period, like flowers arrived at the door, alcohol arrived at the door, not that I could touch it at the time, books, poetry books, films, you know. I remember a friend of mine sent me this gorgeous silver bracelet, and on the inside of it, it said, keep fucking going. And I remember bringing it into the oncology ward and showing it to the nurse and her laughing and saying everybody in here should get one of them, you know. And just the days that I could stand, I stood. There was never a day, even though I was like an old lady and could barely walk some days, I used to walk up and down the garden on my husband's arm. Just do it. Do what you can. Be kind to yourself, you know. Anytime we possibly could, Gary and I would book a little overnight in Howth, an overnight in Clarehead, because then, and I remember it was nuts, I think it was January and I was in the middle of treatment and we were doing an overnight in Howth, and I was in the middle of chemo, like I was half dead, and the boat was going over to Ireland's Eye, and I'd never been on Ireland's Eye. And I said, oh, Gary, we would go over on the boat, you know, because it was running, because it was a beautiful day. He was going, it's the 4th of January, dear. You're in the middle of chemo. There's no way, you know. And I said, sure, would be grand, would be grand. I've never done it. I want to do it. So the two of us got on the boat, you know, and we thought they'd have rugs, but they didn't have rugs, you know. So we were just in our coats. And here was me standing, like, not quite Titanic, but I was at the front, you know, like, and not a screed of hair practically left at this stage, you know, and you know, just there heading out into the sea with the gulls, and it was freezing, and the rocks, and it just really invigorated me.